Hello, welcome to Dorkside Cookies, the ingredients. In this episode, we are going to walk you through setting up Xenoshyft, a cooperative board game, sort of a unique genre. It's actually based off of tower defense, like mobile PC gaming. So if you've already watched our bite-sized review, then you already know about it. If you haven't, then I'm just going to kind of jump into it, and I highly recommend clicking on this link that's hopefully floating up here, not floating around down here somewhere. So at this point, hopefully you have the game, you've opened it up, and I'm going to walk you through. Otherwise, this also could apply if you're just sort of wanting to see what it takes to set up the game before you make a purchase decision, or maybe before you commit to playing it after a long night or something, right? So, okay. So one of the cool things about Xenoshyft is it is a soloable game, and it's soloable without any fake rules to make it balanced. The game just works. 1 player, 2 players, 3 players, 4 players, it supports and works the full team. So I will be setting it up as if it's solo, but I will point out anywhere that might be different, which is only 1. And actually it's not different for solo, it's different for 3 or 4 players. Okay, so when you first get the game, you have this nice box from Cool Mini, and I would just kind of put it out. If you're setting it up for your friends like we are for the Let's Play that's going to happen later tonight, then you would put it like this with the tracker boards out. But anyway, so what you're going to want to do is, first of all, you're going to want to put out the 2 mats that they give you, and you're going to want to put it like so, with the military over here and the empty item mat over here. Just put your tokens somewhere that people can reach them during play. Now, of course, you'll probably be reaching them out of the box. The really cool thing is that while we have these out, because my wife just wanted to organize them, the reality is that you can actually pull these right out of the box and just start playing. So you're gonna put all of your Xenosatham 1s here. You're gonna put all your Xenosathams 3s out, and your Xenosatham 6, and then just kind of toss out your military. Now, a lot of deck building games have a deck of cards that is only useful during setup, right? I mean, that's pretty standard for the genre. The militia cards are like that, except for 1 division, which is allowed to purchase more. But they still gave it its own little slot, and I appreciate that. So at this point, we have all of the militia out and on the table. We're going to want to take the deck. Now, in this deck, number 1, the most easily visible indicator will be the red circle with the line through it, the no more or not wanted or Ghostbuster symbol. It's going to be a whole deck of cards with those little symbols, and it's going to have pictures of the items that you're out of. So what you're going to want to do is just shuffle the deck and then deal it out. And then what I personally do is I look at it, and this deck, again, is going to be used throughout the game. So don't hide it away in the box or put it away too much, because you are going to need this deck throughout the game. Okay, so what I like to do is I like to move all of the similar types of items together, just because for me, it's easier when I'm purchasing things, because when you purchase things, it's based off of what division you're part of. So I'm just going to go ahead and put it like so. So This is not necessarily correct at all. I've just played it enough times that I can guess which of these belong to which division, and the Void Mine Pulsar Shields and Pulsar Bombs are part of the science lab. The Dropship and Scout Drones, I don't actually know what they're part of. The Bioenhancer is part of Med Bay, and the Gun Emplacement, Rocket Launcher, and the Plasma Arc Shotgun are all part of the weapon division. So you definitely don't need any kind of organizations to the items. It'll just kind of help the players who are playing particular departments and get to purchase certain cards cheaper if they can kind of just glance at the table. So that's what I do. You can put them however you want. You can put them alphabetically if that's what you like. All right. So then all you're going to do is you're going to go through your box and you're just going to pull out each stack of cards. Make sure that there is 5 of each stack. If there's less than 5, chances are one of them got dispersed into the rest of the cards. So at this point, I don't see any more of the no more symbols or empty symbols, so I know that I'm good. Now at this point, just take your stack of other item cards and put them to the side. What's going to happen is once you have emptied a stack and it shows that symbol at the bottom, then at the end of that turn, you're going to draw another random item stack, and so every game is going to effectively be a little bit different. Okay, you're also going to want to set your base tracker to be 15 hit points per number of players. So in a solo game, like what I'm setting up now, it's going to be 15. 2 would be 30, 3 would be 45, and 4 would be 60. All right. Now, just like a tower defense game on your mobile phone or whatever, the base is going to take any damage that you fail to stop, right? So the waves of enemies pour through, and anybody you fail to stop, your base is just going to take that much damage. A big creature, you're going to take a lot of damage. A little creature, you're not going to take much damage. All right, so then you're going to prepare your encounter decks. Now the base game comes with the Hive. These are some crazy vicious creatures, and as terrifying as they are. I mean, like really, almost every creature you're just like, can we even do it? It's just ridiculous. The next creatures, my understanding, are even crazier, like really nuts. Okay, so what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to have one boss in your deck if you have 1 or 2 players, and you're going to want to have 2 bosses in your deck if it's 3 or 4 players. The boss is indicated by the little toxic or radiation kind of symbol. In this case, there's 2 bosses, so I'm just going to, it's hard to shuffle with 2. Put 1 aside, put 1 in the middle, and then shuffle. Not very well, but good enough. On your first playthrough, I highly recommend doing a proper CCG style shuffle. So a CCG style shuffle, I mean, not all CCG collectible card game players, not all collectible card game players shuffle this way, but a lot of them do. So what you would do is the first time, because it's going to be sorted and you're never going to want to have the same monster over and over and over again with the same kind of effect just appear, it's really horrible, is I do it like so. So there's an interesting result of shuffling this way, and you get to be pretty fast when you play a lot of card games. And most of us, regardless first time, second time, whatever, we shuffle like this, even if it's like 10 cards or something. But we all shuffle like that. The interesting thing about it is that I'm pretty sure that the bottom card ended up being on the top, and I should have tested that, but in a different game, Pathfinder, we had the boss on top of like 7 different decks, which is pretty funny. The first time you play, you just like, that's kind of weird, and then the first deck, in Pathfinder, locations are decks. So the first location, the boss or sub boss was on the top, and the second one, and the third one, and we're like, this is really weird. So now, after you do this, like split the deck 3 ways or 4 ways, whatever you want to do, just do a loose shuffle, and at this point, it is very, very randomized. Like, I feel a lot of confidence that while there may be some like 2 in a row or 3 in a row, whatever, but it will only be because it was random, because I did split it 3 times. Okay, so same thing on your second wave. You just want to take these 2, get rid of it, put the other one in the middle. For the sake of your time, I'm not going to do a long shuffle. Just do 2 simple. Third wave, same thing. And of course, you're just getting rid of one of them. So the deck itself is not too hard. They've balanced it in some way like that. But the other ways the other thing is that now you don't know which boss you're going to be fighting. So that's pretty cool. Now, at this point, take your departments and flip one over. If you're playing solo like me, flip it over for yourself. And I am the command center. The command center is probably not what I want to play by myself, but that's how it goes. So each of the departments has a little rule. And so it says, at the beginning of the game, add 2 available item cards of cost 3 or less to your deck. So I get to look here. I cannot buy, so the cost is in the top right. I cannot buy the pulsar bomb, but I can get anything else, 2 of them, for free. So what I want to do is, I think I want to get a void mine, and I want to get a Hellblaster rocket launcher. I don't know. Or do I want to get a Hawkeye gun emplacement? No, I'm gonna get the Hellblaster. All right, so that's gonna go in my deck. I'm going to take 6 Xenoshyft 1s, put those in my deck. Then I'm going to take 4 militia, put those in my deck. And that's, let's see here. That's it. That is all the setup. So you're just gonna wanna shuffle your deck. Here, every single time, this is how I shuffle. I might want to get duplicates, like I might want to get all 4 militia, because this round would be super easy. But what I don't want is I don't want my second round to not have any militia, because that would just be really difficult. So at that point, deal yourself 6 cards each. Okay, so you have your 6 cards. You're going to want to take one of your markers, put it on the 1 tracker. So again, to survive or to win the game, you and your base, really your base, has to survive 9 rounds. So you put it on the 1, and you're gonna fight 9 waves of monsters. For the purposes of the video, I'm gonna put my cards out. And so my starting hand is 3 militia, 1 void mine, and 2 Xenoshyft. Means I have a lot of troops, but not a lot of money to buy stuff with. And at that point, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do one quick wave, one quick round, and kind of walk through what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. So at the start of each round, you're always going to want to take one of the Xenoshyft cards for that wave. So the 1s are 1 through 3, the 3s are for 4 through 6, and the 6 is for the 7 through 9. So just take one of them, put it in your hand. Okay? Now, I've got 3 militia, so I can imagine 1, 2, 3, and I've got a void mine, so probably 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Void mine, militia, militia, militia. And I've got 3 Xenoshyft, and once per round during wave 1, because I'm the command center, I get to reduce the cost of 1 item card by 1 to a minimum of 1. So I could buy a pulsar bomb, because I could reduce the cost by 1, and pulsar bombs deal the first enemy in lane 3 damage and cancel any reveal effects it has. That is a hugely powerful card. I'm just going to do it. That's what I think is good. So 3 Xenoshyft go into my discard pile. I'll get those back next, 2 rounds from now or so. Pulsar bomb goes into my hand. The pulsar bomb has a lightning strike, and that like a little circle with a red lightning strike going into it. And what that means is that you can play it from your hand. Now, looking at the rest of my cards, they do not have a instant effect symbol, so I must deploy them or I don't get to use them. Now, it could make sense to have only 2 militia out and keep 1 militia in my hand, but I'm not going to do that because militias survive from turn to turn, and I'm just going to hope that some of them survive. Alright, so having spent all of my Xenoshyft, my build-up phase is effectively done. If you get confused about what you can do in each phase, the back of the book is an excellent resource. Shows you your setup, shows you your pre-combat. Really, once you've done this a couple times, the majority of your references that you're going to use is just the back. That's it. That should be enough to remind you of anything. So pre-combat, combat phase, wrap-up phase, it kind of walks you through everything. All right, so my pre-combat phase is finished, and I've purchased a bunch of stuff. I have 1 instant effect that I'm going to keep in my hand, obviously. I'm going to put a void mine up front, and then militia, militia, militia. So I'm just going to keep this to one side. And that's it. It is wave 1, round 1. So militia. I'm sorry, militia. Hive, and hive. All right. So let's see what happens. Now, something you want to constantly keep at the forefront of your mind. If you have instant effects, especially ones like pulsar bombs, which can cancel reveal effects, you want to keep that in mind. They're very, very particular with their words, and if you follow their words pretty strictly, then everything kind of just works. Otherwise, it can be easy to cheat. Like, for example, pulsar bomb, it says it can cancel any reveal effects it has, and it can be done in response to reveal effects This is in stark contrast to the Hawkeye gun emplacement, which says it may deal 2 damage to one revealed enemy, which is to say, if the enemy has been revealed, it can do damage to it, but it can't do damage to a face down enemy. So there's a lot of rules about what you can do to face down enemies and what you can't. Okay, so flip only the first one, and it is a swarmer. Swarmers, the first time this enemy attacks each round, it deals its damage before troops attack. Well, that sucks for it, because the way this works is they just bounce together and they keep bouncing until there's no more of one side. And so this swarmer bounces into the void mine, and it says when this card or a troop in its zone is damaged, deal the enemy and any troop in this zone 4 damage, then discard this card. So the swarmer does 3 damage to the void mine. The void mine explodes and does 4 damage to the swarmer, and if there was a unit on top of it, it would do damage to that unit too. But you know, I'm not dumb, so I didn't put troops on top of a mine. There we go. So the mine is discarded, but so is the swarmer. First enemy defeated, and everything slides forward. If you were lucky enough to get the little mats, they have like little mats that were available in the Kickstarter. I think those things are cool. These things are fine, but I like the idea of those little like cloth mats. All right, a smoker. Reveal. Place this enemy at the end of the enemy lane, and while in lane, all enemies receive +1 power. So here's where I have to like choose. I can deal this smoker 3 damage with my pulsar bomb, and it will be gone. But I don't think its power matters. See, normally its power, all enemies receive +1 power. So these two are going to be one higher, one more powerful. I just don't think it matters, because the militia each have only 1 hit point. So in this case, if these are 2 or 10, it just doesn't matter unless they get through my defenses. So goes to the end of the line. I did not use the pulsar bomb to kill it, so boom. Shield swarm. All right, reveal. Place this enemy at the end of the enemy lane. While in lane, reduce the damage all enemies suffer by 1. Now this is where things could get a little bit irritating, because a shield swarm is going to make it so that my militia cannot kill anything with 1. It's going to take 2 militia people to kill each one. So I'm actually going to use the pulsar bomb. It's going to do 3 damage to the shield swarm. -1 is 2, because shield swarms protect themselves, and 2, it only has 2 life, so it's dead. Notice the symmetry. Does 3 in response to reveal effects, reduces the damage by 1. It's just enough to kill it. I don't think those kind of symmetries are a mistake, or like accidental. This is a very tightly designed game, and all the numbers make a lot of sense. All right, charger. This enemy deals any damage exceeding a troop's hit point to the next troop in lane. If there are no additional troops in lane, the base suffers this damage instead. So the charger, now the damage is simultaneous unless it says otherwise. So the charger is going to do 3 damage to this militia and this militia, because, well, it's going to do 3 damage here, and then there's 2 left over, and then that 2 is going to hit here. It only happens 1 time, as far as I can tell. On the other hand, this militia does 2 damage to the charger, and that puts it at -1 hit point. So this kills that guy, and then kills that guy. Mano y mano. 1 militia, 1 smoker. They step forward, and they both die. So militia does 2 damage, smoker has 2 hit points. Smoker does 1 damage plus 1 damage, and so that's 2 damage. But the militia doesn't care because dead is dead. Likewise, the charger actually was doing 4 damage, but again, it just didn't matter because all the militia have 1 hit point. So, all right, boom. So the base has survived. At this point, you would end the turn with the wrap-up phase. Any troops that had survived would stay there. You could rearrange them, you can move them around. So if you knew you're going to buy more troops, you might want to, like if I had had a militia survive, I would probably want to rearrange that militia to somewhere like here, and then draw back up, and then have some empty spaces to put things. That's me. That's how I generally like to do it. On the other hand, to my knowledge, you cannot discard troops once they're down. I could be wrong on that. Sometimes you'll have better troops in your next hand and you'll wish you would put them down. Sometimes some of the enemies will tell you that if it damages a troop, then you have -1 card to your next round. So that's pretty rough. You then have 5 cards instead of 6. And if you had not spent all of your cards for some reason, just like most deck building games, you would then have less cards to draw, but you'd still have the same 6. You always start your turn, every turn with 6. And that's the way. So I mean, this goes to 2. Base did not take any damage whatsoever, and there you go. So some additional points that you're just going to want to keep in mind. Once you go to the 4th wave, you can start getting rid of cards from your discard pile. Like if this was wave 4, I could look and I could switch out 3 Xenoshyft 1s. It says burn, meaning remove from the game. So burn, and then place 1 Xenoshyft 3 into your deck, into your discard pile. So that was pretty clever in my opinion from a game design perspective. Then if you draw any militia after wave 2, which means round 4, 5, 6, 7, or 8, or 9, you get to burn these troops. You also get to burn rangers and buy more expensive troops with them. So that's pretty cool. You're not going to end the game with many or any militia or rangers. So you really get this feeling as you're playing that you're just getting more and more powerful. At least that's been my opinion. Keep in mind, if you run out of cards, meaning you've purchased all of them, you've put them in your deck, then the next thing you're going to do is you're just going to draw another one, and then you're going to pull it out of the box and put it out. So keep the box handy, keep the item deck handy. After you're done playing, highly recommend just take your deck and then just go in reverse. Bam. Xenoshyft 1s, rocket launcher, militias, pulsar bombs, void mines, Xenoshyft 1s. If you are very conscientious about unraveling your deck back into the respective piles, then what you're going to find is that you should be able to very quickly start playing the next time. And that's something that's, I think, I think it's more, I mean, obviously with a game like Small World, it's super organized, but this game does a really good job of allowing you just to start, like open the box, put out all these little organizers, start playing probably within 15 minutes. I guess, I guess we'll see how long this video is, and there you go. That's a little bit shorter because I did the sample round, and that'll show you how long it actually takes to set up. But I don't think it was very long. So with that, I guess this video is coming to a close. Click like, click subscribe. If there's a game you would like us to walk through the setup of, let us know in the comments below, and game on.